So I've just been in the audience at Temperance for one of the monthly comedy improv events presented by the good folk of Leamprov. I survived. Indeed, I enjoyed it. And now I'm ready to hear the backstory. So here are Kate and Jet, who are going to answer in the style of... No, that was a joke, actually. You're just going to answer. You're just going to answer. Welcome to Life in Lembo.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, thank you for having us.
So, Jet, let's start. Leamprov, what is it?
So Leamprov is the premier improvised comedy group in Leamington Spa. We do all sorts of improvised comedy, short form, long form, and we do all sorts of workshops, performances, everything that makes you feel fun and funky and fresh.
Love that, fun and funky and fresh. So, Kate, how long has Leamprov been going?
So it started in 2019. So it was founded by James Cann, who was a member of a troupe in Birmingham, but lived in Leamington. It was literally about 5 or 6 of us in the back room of a pub. And over the course of 7 years, it's just grown and grown.
So you were a founder member back in 2019. And what got you into improv yourself?
Seeing a live show. I volunteered at a comedy festival in Coventry Comedy Festival, and I saw James's other group, who, I talked to them afterwards and said, I want to try this, basically. And they said, oh, well, James is doing a group in Leamington. So it was kind of the perfect time, really.
And Jet, for you, how did you get involved? You don't sound like a local, I have to say.
No, I have first began doing improv in the United States. I was wildly overconfident. I was 13 years old, and I begged the older kids in my high school to let me join their improv troupe. So I've been doing it for a very long time now. And I moved over here about 3 years ago, and I have been with Leamprov pretty much ever since. Yeah.
And what is it, of all the sort of performing art forms, what is it about improv that really makes it special?
I think that there's something beautiful about connecting with childlike play. It is innate as children that we make up stories and we act out these kind of plays and we build these worlds together. And as we get older, I think we lose that bit of spark and that bit of ingenuousness that comes with being a child. And I think that improv reconnects us with that. I think that it's a way to just build and fall in love with being a child almost again. So for me, it's just like, it's fun.
Kate, I mean, in terms of your experiences, you've been doing it for quite a few years as well. Is it a love-hate thing? Are there things you love about it and things you dread about it?
I don't think I dread anything about it. I think the tricky thing, is trying to sometimes convince audiences that we are making it up. Because that's sometimes they're very like, oh, you must have kind of come up with that in advance. It's like, no, we are kind of coming up with all of this on the spot, and it's really not as hard as it looks if you kind of are present and just let yourself just be excited by things. I think that's the thing I like about it. Kind of when we're all in a show together, we are just kind of discovering funny things together, but the audience is in on it with us, so we're all kind of finding it at the same time.
This is my first improv audience experience, Kate, today, and I guess I was a little bit apprehensive that you pick on audience members and it might be a bit uncomfortable, but that didn't happen at all today. Do you involve with the audience members?
We involve them, but it's funny, it's kind of the opposite of picking on. The audience is kind of steering the ship, so they have a big kind of stake in where the show goes. We get our suggestions from them. Sometimes if people do give us kind of gifts in their suggestions to say things we never expect to hear from them, we'll ask them some follow-up questions and have a little bit of a chat. And so it's a really nice kind of it's another thing I love about improv is we're with the audience making the show together. They're kind of a part of the show, and that's the thing I think is quite infectious for audiences in an improv show.
But it's voluntary, isn't it? This evening you asked for suggestions, 1 or 2 people gave suggestions. No one got dragged up on stage, no one got picked on at all.
Oh no, we don't drag people on stage, we're not monsters. We're very friendly improvisers.
Do you think it teaches life skills?
You know, I think that for me, a extremely overconfident child, I think it probably taught me to take my turns. But I think for me, I found that the life skills weren't necessarily things that I was learning, but reconnecting with. Like I said a bit earlier, just about reconnecting with it being okay to be silly and it being okay to just have fun, and it doesn't matter what people think.
And do you have a particular favourite improv moment when you think back?
I think that overall, one of my favorite improv moments that I think back on is the show that I saw that made me go like, oh, I gotta get in there. And it was when I was 13, I was watching the high school kids do their little improv showcase, and they were so cool, and they still do improv now, some of these people.
So Kate, how many people are in Leamprov in total?
So we think it's around 40 regulars.
Yeah, 40 members, and then I would say every workshop we get somewhere in the realm of 25 to 30. I think 37 has been the highest at a single workshop.
And what sort of people come along in terms of like age groups and backgrounds? You know, is there a classic Leamprov person?
I don't think there is. We have a quite wide age range, which is quite nice. We have people in their 20s. I think our oldest members are in their 60s and 70s. Lots of people in their 30s, 40s. So yeah, it's a really nice and quite unusual thing for a kind of group as big as we are as well, a community to have, but quite diverse.
And why do they come along, do you think?
Well, I think a lot of them come after seeing a show and think, oh, I would actually like to try that, and they're actually not scary people. They talk to us afterwards and we say, come along. Lots of people find us on Meetup, and I think there is you can tell, I think, from our Meetup and from our shows that it is just a chance to, as Jet said, just be a kid and just play for a week. We don't get many opportunities to just be children for a couple of hours a week.
Indeed. So I've just been to one of the temperance sessions, one of the once a month sessions. Was what I've seen typical of how your sessions run? And perhaps you could just describe what classically happens. I guess it's improv, so you can't really say what happens every session. But is there a sort of a format?
Yeah. So what will typically happen in a temperance show is that we have a 2.5 hour-ish slot. And the first half will be an improvised group, and the second half will be another improvised group. And it depends, it flip-flops what those formats are. So it might be short form, it might be long form. We get guest improvisers in, but it in general will be funny. It will be comedy, but the theme does change every time, and so much so like improv itself, we are an ever-changing format, but I can only guarantee one thing: improv. Yeah.
So the temperance sessions happen on Tuesday, but you also run workshops on Mondays. What happens at the workshops?
Every month we'll focus on a different skill, because there are lots of kind of soft skills that you learn when you do improv. So things like learning how to play different types of characters, how to learn things like kind of different short form games or play with status. And so the first week of every month will be a kind of introduction to a different theme, and they'll get kind of progressively more kind of not challenging, but different kind of levels, like intermediate, difficult. And so we'll start with kind of big group just exercises where we just kind of do lots of kind of theatre-based kind of exercises and kind of games. Then we'll have like shorter group activities, and then at the very end we'll have kind of people up volunteering to do scenes or games. But anyone can kind of opt in or out at any point in the workshop. They're very just fun and friendly and very inclusive.
And so those workshops, they run every Monday?
Yep, so every Monday it's 7 to 9 in the Band Factory on Althorpe Street.
Barring bank holiday Mondays, that is.
Even improv needs a holiday sometime, doesn't it? So for someone that wants to come as an audience member to Temperance, what's the cost of a ticket, and how does one get one?
Yeah, so if you're interested in coming to a Temperance show, the cost for that is £8 plus a little bit of a admin fee through Eventbrite, and you can find those tickets on Eventbrite or through our social media.
And if you want to come along to the Monday workshops, what's the cost involved there?
So they're £3 a week, but your first session is free.
Got them hooked after their first session.
Absolutely. There is a method to the madness.
And so you're heading up to Edinburgh, to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival this year for the second year, I think. So tell us about that, Jen.
Yeah, so this is the second time we're going up to Edinburgh. How exciting. It'll be my first time. And we are, for the first time, sending 2 of our troupes. So we're sending a short form troupe, which is our house show, which is called The Elephant in the Room. They do quick, snappy improv and games. And then we also are sending our long form troupe, The Circus of Public Opinion, which is an improvised courtroom drama where the cast is dressed up like clowns. And they take the audience suggestion of things that they have gripes and they put them on trial and basically make fun of the audience and make it absurd and wild.
So is it more exciting or is it more terrifying, the thought of going out to Edinburgh?
I think for an improviser, for people who love performance, getting to do festivals is like our little treat, right? It is the reward. It doesn't necessarily matter if we make money. We would love to make money, but it is the reward. We work all year long. We rehearse and we practice our formats and we learn those soft skills that Kate was talking about. And Edinburgh is the jewel of our performance. We get to show everyone in the community, improv community, comedy community, theater community, that we have this special thing, and you can come see it.
So if someone wants to come along and see you, then it's the second Tuesday of every month at Temperance. You can go to Eventbrite or just rock up and come along and see Leamprov there. If someone wants to come along to the workshops, do they just roll along to the Band Factory on a Monday?
Yep, or you can join via our meetup, and I believe it's just Leamprov on the meetup. If you search, you Google it. You can sign up in advance and let us know you're coming, but you can just turn up as well if you'd like to.
And if someone just wants to find out a little bit more, maybe they're not quite ready to take the plunge yet, what should they do to get in touch?
They can visit our socials, so we're Leamprov on Instagram. If you Google Leamprov, we always say we're the only thing called that, so you'll quickly find all of our social media. We're on Facebook as well.
Lovely. So, I've had a super evening this evening, having my first experience of Leamprov. It's been exciting to hear about your adventures upcoming in Edinburgh as well, and all the very best for that. And thank you so much for coming to speak to me this evening.
Yeah, thank you so much. So happy that you got to come out and talk with us. That's awesome.
Thank you for letting us spread the word about improv in Leamington.
One of us.